All right, Facebook. Hey, it's Joycelyn Wells with Joy Exposed. July 22nd, 2020. And it's time for another episode of Joy Exposed. And remember, when joy is exposed, everything just feels better. If you guys haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, subscribe. I'll actually put the link in the comments. I'd love to get some subscriptions out of tonight. I need subscribers. So thank you guys so much. So 3 cheers of joy. Let's get started. Tonight, 3 cheers of joy is brought to you by a Boulay bourbon. You know, I haven't been drinking any liquor, so this got me right. It's Boulay, but I have it with some Luxardo cherries. The yummiest cherries is about $22 for a container of them. They are the richest, most delicious cherries. They're called Luxardo. So I have those and Perrier. Love me some Perrier. So I had to get some of that too, just to strike a balance because I'm tired. So I got my Bouillet and my Perrier, and that's how we're going to spend the evening together. So thank you guys so much for joining me. Doesn't it sound so refreshing? I love sparkling water. All right. So first cheer of joy. I actually made some notes about tonight, so I'm going to refer to my notes about my 3 cheers of joy tonight. I'm going to see if I can find where this is streaming on Facebook so that I can look at comments and stuff. You guys, I know you guys can see me, but I know you guys can see me, but I'm going to go and try to get on my page so I can see your comments before I start the 3 cheers of joy. So let me do that right now. All right. I want to see comments. All right. Man, this is slow moving. This is slow moving. Okay. Anyway, so I'm trying to get to the comments. I'm working on that now. But anyway, let's start with our 3 cheers of joy. So, oh, hey, Sheree, here for it. Hey, Stephanie. I'm at the comment. So very pleased about that. All right. So let me look at my note. I've been making some notes because this is going to be a good week. So my 3 cheers of joy. The first cheer of joy that I have is the first cheer of joy that I have is for orgasms. So before I even talk, let me drink. Cheers to orgasms. They are by far my favorite thing to do. So I'm trying to figure out how to silence this messenger because this keeps popping up during my calls. So let me see if I can ignore messages. Yeah, I'll do that. Okay. Ignore messages. Okay. All right. So my first cheer of joy tonight was orgasms. Cheers. I hope everybody drinks to orgasms. They're like the best shit ever. So cheers to orgasms, my first cheer of joy. And I'll talk about that in a little bit because that's one of my topics of conversation tonight. The second cheer of joy is my faceless love. So cheers to my faceless love because he is the real MVP. I've never met anybody in my whole life that wants to take care of me like he wants to take care of me. And I'm so grateful. So cheers to him. Cheers to my faceless love. And my third cheer of joy. All right. And so let's see. So my first was to orgasms. My second was to my faceless love. My third cheer of joy is to burpees. I made a post about burpees. They make me fucking sick, but they definitely make your whole body move. So cheers to burpees. That's my third cheer of joy. So we've got orgasms, faceless love, and burpees. So cheers to all 3 of them. I'm drinking the Bouillet bourbon and with Luxardo cherries. So I'm very pleased about that. So last night, surprisingly, well, you guys probably aren't surprised, but I made a post about orgasms because I was saying that orgasms are so important and you should plan to have them all the time. Like, that's probably not surprised, but I made a post about orgasms because that's me talking. I got to get out of that. All right. So I made a post about orgasms talking about you should have them. You should have orgasms religiously. And that just means consistently and conscientiously. Like you should want to have orgasms. Like there shouldn't be, you should want to do that, right? So I talked about that last night about the orgasms. The funny thing is within probably 10 minutes of me making that post, someone contacted me and told me that they've never had an intravaginal orgasm. And I wasn't surprised because there are a lot of women who haven't had intravaginal orgasms. Now it's easier to have a clitoris or the clitoral orgasm because it's on the outside. It's easy to stimulate it by your hands, by a tongue, by his hands, whatever. But the thing is, the intravaginal just requires a little more information and detail about your body. And we're not really taught that. Your mom doesn't teach you, they don't teach you in school. All of that stuff is learned on your own. So I think I'm gonna host a class on orgasms, just about what they are and the importance of them, what they do for your body, what they do for your brain, and you know how to have them. So I'm probably going to do a Zoom class on that because orgasms are important to me, very important to me. Like I love them. Like cheers to them again. I'm toasting again, right? So but I'll spend a little more time talking about that. All right, so let's get to our Facebook post of the week. It's Wednesday. Hold on, my camera's sideways. Let me fix it. I'm doing so much tonight. It's Wednesday, July 22nd, and I'm going to be able to see comments come in, but I'm obviously not coordinated enough for that. Hey, Terrence, young lady, thank you. I'm sure some baby girls in Florida. Inbox me, tell me what you're looking for. Let me see what I can find for you. Go Terrence. Terrence on the hunt. He trying to find his baby girl. All right. Anyway, so let's get to our Facebook post of the week. So the Facebook post of the week that I picked up this afternoon because it just made me think about it. It says, if you think, this is posted by Kim Chevalier. She's a listener. She comes on and listens often. And she said, if you think that teachers are scared snowflakes, I guess snowflakes was kind of like scared mother truckers because they want basic protections from coronavirus before the school year starts, I'd like to remind you that they go to work and practice active shooter drills. When was the last time you did that? Your job, when was the last time your job did that? So when I read that, it made me think about, we do practice active shooter drills and nobody seems to talk about that. But when teachers are talking about going to school and walking to death traps, people have concern about that because, you know, we want our kids to go back to school. They're socialized there. They eat there, they have their friends, they have people who love them and appreciate them and want to teach them. So no one argues about the significance and importance of schools. We're also talking about kids are less likely to get the virus than adults. But if the adults get the virus and have to be out or die, what does that in turn mean for the kids? So it's really quite a conundrum. But the main thing that people need to understand is that teachers are on the front line every fucking day. The police are on the front line and they do what they're gonna do, but their expectation is bullshit will happen. Our expectation isn't that bullshit will happen. Our expectation is how to respond if it happens. We don't expect shooters on campus. We don't expect fires on campus. We do anticipate hurricanes because we watch them on the news. And that's if you're in the southeast that you're getting the hurricane warnings or the tornado warnings in other places. So teachers are here for it. We go in through all of that crap: rain, sleet, snow, snotty-nosed kids, hungry kids, beaten kids, molested kids, mistreated kids, manipulated kids. We deal with everybody's shit every day. We deal with it. And nobody wants to go back to school more than a teacher. And the fucked up thing about a teacher wanting to go back to school is that we want to go back so bad because we are terrified at the amount of damage that's been done at home with parents who don't care about their fucking kids. That's why we choose brick and mortar instead of e-learning, because we need to see the kid. We need to hear the kid. We need to watch the kid. We need to see how much they've lost being in an environment of people who don't fucking want them. So it's multiple levels to this going back to school and the COVID, our coronavirus, and I'm going to talk about that in a second, but there are multiple levels of it. And there aren't a lot of teachers who are like, I'm not going back into education. For the most part, we're all here for it. For the most part, we're all here for education. When I had to fill out my survey that asked brick and mortar, e-learning, or virtual academy, I chose brick and mortar because I work at an alternative school. So I know my kids are already miles away from the finish line, even before we went into a pandemic. But now I'm like, we've been out of school. They missed the rest of March, all of April, all of May in school. And I already know they've been set back 3 years because of what they've missed. How do we get them to the point that they're going to have an opportunity to close that achievement gap, to be productive in society and not get caught up in the mistreatment and abuse of what they receive at home? My job as a teacher is tough. Any teacher, our jobs are tough, and it's not as cut and dry as we go and teach them. We stand in front of the classroom and we teach them. It's teaching them to teach themselves, teaching them to teach each other, teaching them to know compassion, to have integrity, to make decisions with fidelity, to be good people. It's more than just standing up there. Hugging, they want to hug. They want to wear your sweaters. They want to be in your space. They want that physical connection with another human. That's why teachers love teaching, because they get so much from the students. So it's really tough. I love that Kim posted that on her Facebook today, because I agree with it. I'm okay with the active shooter drill. I know if an active shooter comes on my campus and comes to my classroom, I know I'm the first person to go. I know that. I know that my classroom belongs to me. I know that every student in my classroom is my responsibility. Those are things that I know. So in essence, I do go to campus every single day with an expectation that this is the day that I could die. Is that what I want? Of course not. But I do it based on the fact that I've got to show up for these students. And so now we're in the corona in all her glory, because baby, she is not playing with y'all asses. COVID-19 is here for attention. You're going to give it to her. So now with COVID, we're trying to figure out how to go back to school, how to set up a classroom that allows the distancing, how to minimize the contact, that the students aren't coming to you for hugs, for love, for just to be close enough to you to feel your energy. These are all things that teachers are trying to figure out. It's easy from the outside if you're not in the classroom trying to establish it. It's easy. But when you think of being a teacher and being in the classroom and the level of engagement that you have with your students, the level of touching and talking, and there's no proximity. When you think of that, it almost seems impossible to do. But we're here for it. The teachers are here for it. Like, this is what we do. So if you are talking negative about a teacher or about a situation, about back to school, please keep in mind that many of us found our way through the education system. Many of us found our way through the education system, public education system. So we're not going to talk negative about it. So, the active shooter drills that we have is scary. We haven't had any campus shootings since since the pandemic, Lord. Since the pandemic, because everybody home, right? So good. But we have to practice for that. And it's when you have to tell a student that if there's a shooter on campus or we go into lockdown, these are the procedures. And they start talking about what they do. And you have to tell them, I'm here to protect you. If anybody goes first, it's me, because you belong to me. You belong to my classroom. That's a hard pill to sell to a lot of people, because children don't hear adults say, I'm here to die for you. But it's, in essence, it's true. That's what education is. That's what it's like to be at the school. And a lot of people don't understand it. And we're trying to figure out, what do we do to protect our students, and what do we do to protect ourselves? And that's where we are. So as of right now, I go to school next Friday, the 31st. I show up for school next Friday. Yep. I go into my classroom that I left in March. Slightly melancholy about it, because when I left in March, I didn't know I wouldn't be back. And we had a day on campus where we could go take things out of the classroom and bring them home. And I did do that. But there's a lot of raw emotion in that. The ungraded papers, the students' work, their names, their notebooks, their projects they were working on, where they sat in their desk. There's a lot in that, and there wasn't any closure in the classroom. For teachers, there's a big deal of closure when we're ready for the kids to go at the end of the year, but we bank on the fact that we get to tell them goodbye. We get to bid them a farewell and push them on to the next thing. We didn't get that. So I know it's going to be melancholy going back into the classroom, and I'm okay with that. I can handle that, but it will be sad. And I'll have to change my classroom around to accommodate the students. I know that's not a problem either. And I have a system in place already to clean and cleanse and sanitize my face mask from day to day, and using multiples. So, it's just going to be different. So we'll figure it out. And as of right now, next Friday is the go live date. We go in, we have meetings, we talk, we figure it out. And then the kids will come about 3 weeks after that. So, we'll have to see what that's about, but we're going to try to figure that piece out. So I hope your children, or if you know children, nieces, nephews, whatever, teachers, give them all the support, because there's so much fear in moving in the unknown. So I'm going to move into COVID. So COVID-19, motherfucker. Sorry, I can't even pretend. COVID has been its thing. I've known now 6, 12, 16 people, I think, that have been affected, that have actually had COVID. So that's about 16 people that I know. Like, one person had it and they know their people connected to them. Another person, their people connected to them. And it's moving like wildfire. So COVID is real. If you don't think that it is, then, shame on you, and you've never had an STD. Don't nobody think STDs are real till they got one. Nobody knows HIV is real until you got a lesion, right? So we're all in denial about these things, but the truth of the matter is this shit is real. And we have to figure out how to get it across to people that you wearing your mask isn't for you, it's for the other person, right? One of my Facebook friends, her name is Misty. Right, Ricky, we are like bonus parents. You're absolutely right. One of my Facebook friends, her name is Misty. She is a doctorate of pharmaceutical science, amongst other things. She's like a brainiac on a whole nother level. But she made a post, well, she responded to something I posted talking about with the HIV and AIDS epidemic when that started, or pandemic when that started, and how people were reluctant to wear condoms, which is true. Even to this day, think about it. We're talking early 80s. They're telling you about HIV and AIDS. Even today, 2020, people still don't want to wear condoms. Think about that. We're talking, what's that? 80, almost 40 years later, people still don't want to wear condoms after they know that HIV and AIDS is a real thing. So think of how long it takes to change the mindset. So we're dealing now with people who don't want to wear a mask because it's uncomfortable to them. But we're talking, think of it like this. What about the people who don't want to wear condoms because they don't like the way they feel? They're uncomfortable. I can't find one to fit. They can give you all the reasons why they don't want to wear a condom, but none of those reasons allow you safety in your decision. So for people who chose not to wear condoms, they either skated through or they ended up with HIV, AIDS, possibly died or on a lifetime of medication or whatever. And that's where we are right now with this virus. People don't want to wear a mask. Who really gives a fuck what you want to do? I want you to wear a mask because your mask protects me. My mask protects you. That's the understanding of how the mask works. So we have to really pay attention to that on that level. Is me wearing a mask is about you, isn't about me. Me wearing a mask is about you. So that's having that understanding that somebody is connected to it. So we have to really kind of pay attention and think about it that way, because I can't imagine being a single one and meeting somebody wanting to have sex and they're telling me they can't wear a condom because condoms are uncomfortable. Okay, so you don't wear a condom because condoms are uncomfortable. How does that protect me from unwanted pregnancy, from a STD or HIV/AIDS? How does that protect? And you think it's a there? I don't, I don't judge nobody, but I bet you it's a bunch of women out there now that's got some kids or some HIV because the motherfucker said he didn't want to wear a condom. How can you be so not even about protecting you? You don't even care about the person you dealing with to protect them. That's fucked up. So be careful with people around you. If people don't want to wear a condom, I mean, not a condom. If people don't want to wear a mask, or if people don't want to wear a condom, don't fuck them. Like, that's easy. But if people don't want to wear a mask, don't fuck with them. That's easy too. We're talking about a virus that gets inside your body and mimics your own cells. The virus is so smart, it will incubate in you and you won't even know that you have it until until there's enough virus for the symptoms to become noticeable or for something to happen. So we have to, you go take a test and get you go take a test and you get a positive that's asymptomatic. But the thing is, you have to figure out how to protect yourself. There's the long gone the time that you rely on people to take care of you. This is about us. We have a whole president and administration that's almost denied that there was a virus out there affecting us, or that there was no big deal in this virus out there. And it's a big deal. The United States have been banned for travel in 33 states. The United States is the cream of places. And now we're like the third world country of don't bring that shit in my country. That mars us. And these things don't change overnight. It will take years for us to recover from the damage that we've sustained under this administration. It will take years, not even in my lifetime. I think I said this last week. This won't even happen in my lifetime. This will be beyond that. We've got so much damage. The other thing I want to talk about with COVID, if you guys are having any questions, A lot of people want immediate answers. They want to know what to do, how to do. They want the data. And they're upset because it's not consistent or it's fluctuating. Here's the thing with science. Science is ever changing. We have a new virus in the 21st century. Data is being collected on so much shit. So much data is being collected because no one knows exactly what to take the data on. Fevers, blood types, night sweating, losing your appetite, losing your smelling, losing weight, lung capacity. There's so much data to be taken right now that it will probably be 50 years. Mark me, anybody younger than me, because in 50 years, I'll be 100. 50 years before someone can give you something definitive about this COVID virus. That's not how science doesn't work overnight. Science doesn't work over fucking night. And we're talking about a virus that will change its appearance to be somewhere else. A virus that can cancer cells change. A virus that will change survival of the fittest. You got a vaccine for this strand, but you don't have one for this strand. You got medication for this, but you don't have it for this. We know the flu changes every fucking year. The flu virus is a new strand every year. That's why you're always getting flu shots. So there's nothing definitive about it. The problem is that we've been conditioned so much as like the sheep to receive information and keep it moving with the information that we have lost our own ability to think and process that this shit is constantly, continuously changing. So don't get mad because the data is changing or the numbers aren't being reported. Think of it like this. If they're reporting the number of deaths, is it the number of deaths that happen within 24 hours of admittance, or the number of deaths that happen within 2 days, or the number of deaths that happen while somebody was running a fever or they didn't have a fever, or the number of deaths of somebody who was on the floor with this amount? There's so much fucking data. There's nothing definitive. Do what you can do to protect yourself. Don't worry about the numbers. As long as people are dying, and people are dying of COVID-19, if that's their cause of death, and ain't nothing wrong with that. Let me say that. If somebody goes to the hospital because they had a heart attack and they're in recovery, but they die because they got symptoms of COVID-19, COVID is the reason they died. If somebody's in the hospital for AIDS, if they have AIDS and they get pneumonia, pneumonia is listed as the reason that they died. There's nothing wrong with that. There's no falsifying documents. It's saying new data, COVID is taking out people with COPD, with high blood pressure. It's additional data. That's all that is. And that's okay. Don't get caught up in that. But as long as people are going to the hospital and dying, emergency rooms have 0 beds for you to bring your ass to. ICU have 0 beds for you to bring your ass to. You wear your damn mask and stay the hell away from people the best that you can. You have to do what you can do to protect yourself. One of the things I remember from the Black Plague, reading about it, is that during the Black Plague, now we're talking about a time of waste products running in the streets, food not being sanitized. A lot of our hygiene issues came out of dealing with the Black Plague. Staying clean, looking at the people that you deal with, managing your space. A lot of that came from the Black Plague. Keeping your waste products where they go, trash in the toilet, sanitary products wrapped in. All of that came from that shit came from the Black Plague. When people were, during the time of the Black Plague, if somebody started sneezing, guess what they started telling them? Bless you. That's where God bless you came from. Not comes from the time of the Black Plague, because if somebody sneezes, symptoms, it was an indicator that they're new to plagues and viruses and pandemics. We're only dealing with it now in a time of technology and understanding that we don't have any leadership. You see state people want to brush off, people want to take on these roles of leadership thinking that they're going to coast through it on a bullshit mission. But for those who are in it now, oh, they here for it. They here now to show that they got to figure some shit out. The governor in Georgia, Kemp, has filed a lawsuit against the mayor of Atlanta and the city commission for writing into law that wearing masks are mandatory. That's a waste of fucking time in the middle of a pandemic. That lets you know how he sees or of what's going, if he has time to sue her because of what, sue Keisha because of what Keisha to protect the citizens. So he has that. Now today he said he needs Georgians to commit to wearing their mask for 4 weeks. Well, Atlanta, which is this huge amoeba that covers almost, well, honestly, it's the city of Atlanta. But because of the way Atlanta is positioned within Georgia, all of North Georgia listens to what the fuck is happening in Atlanta. And if the mayor in Atlanta says it's the law that you wear your mask, that means Fulton County is listening, Gwinnett is listening, Cobb is listening, right? Cherokee is listening. All of these counties surrounding are listening because that's the voice of authority that's speaking. It also says that the mayor in these other towns are shutting the fuck up because Keisha is speaking. A mayor named Keisha, hashtag a mayor named Keisha. And I call her that lovingly. So there's no disrespect on Lance Bottoms. No disrespect. Absolutely love her. Can't wait to come and work for her campaign when she's running for president. I'm here for it, right? So now the governor, Kemp, is suggesting everybody wears a mask for 4 weeks, but he wants to sue her because she wrote it into law. It's a waste of fucking time. The thing that I love is that other governors are seeing that she is trying to protect the citizens of which she has been granted command. In essence, she's trying to protect her fucking classroom. She doesn't have any ebb and flow, any understanding of all the things that's happening to the people who are in her classroom. All she knows is she needs to protect them. So she's putting down a law. Everybody wears a mask wherever you go, which is understandable. And I use the classroom symbolism simply because I was talking about that earlier. So now you've got other people coming. The governor of New York is coming. He sent supplies to help the city of Atlanta. He's coming to help her. He's giving her support because he understands that here this woman is trying to protect and put herself on the front line for those that she has been voted into office to protect. He's coming to help her. And I love that. So imagine, governor, your principal, the governor, can't do anything because he doesn't know what the fuck to do. So you got somebody else coming to offer support and guidance, leadership to get you through what you need to do. That is why I love her. And I love the fact that this governor is coming from New York to do it. So we have to really take all of those things into consideration while we're talking about the pandemic. We are completely helpless here. And we're not getting fucking lost on the Karens. We are over the fact, we're past time that these attention-seeking people get something from us. If somebody is saying something, doing something, don't want to wear a mask, whatever, guess what? That ain't my fucking issue. I'm getting away from them and they can sit there. Imagine a little child who wants some attention. How do we deal with the kids who want attention? Well, not all of us. I know some of y'all be like, I'm gonna beat their ass. Not me. I'm gonna leave them sitting there. I'm gonna go do what I need to do. I'm not giving my attention in that space. So we have to be mindful of what that extra means to us emotionally, what it does to our stress. How does it make us feel? Are we okay with it? And if we're not okay with it, what are we going to do to keep ourselves okay with it? What are we going to do? How do we protect ourselves? First off, we wear a mask. Second, we live in our movements. Third, we try to exercise. We got to keep ourselves in some kind of shape, or we are going to be a damned mess for anybody if we don't keep ourselves in some kind of shape. Let's see what else. Look, let me go back to my list. You know, I got on a little tear right there. Okay. Oh, this is what I want to talk about. What are some of the best things that have happened to you since COVID? I know it's a crazy question because I'm cussing her out because she's showing her ass. But I was thinking, like, since COVID has happened, it's been some good stuff that happened to me. And not my 3 cheers of joy, but more so like, what kind of things have happened that I'm like, yay, COVID. So my COVID conversation of what, oh, that's new. I'm sorry, I'm so distracted. So my thing for COVID, let me look at my list of things that have happened that have been good for me. All right, so for me, for cope, the good things that have happened, if you have them, put them in the chat. I'm gonna tell you what mine are. I'm trying to get to it because I want to see if y'all putting it in the chat. Oh, that's good. Okay, so for me, no underwear. So no underwear is a straight ass bonus for me for COVID because you ain't got to go nowhere. Why you got to put underwear on? So today I was talking to Faceless Love. He was getting ready to go get something to eat. And I was like, I'm gonna ride with you. He's like, well, come on. I was like, oh, hold on, let me go put some panties on. Cause I got a little house dress. And y'all know, listen, y'all know what the little house dress mean. I'm free. And it's COVID. So he was like, all right. So I'm gonna put them on. My panties on. It came back out. I'm like, all right, I'm ready. Got my little purse. He looked at me. He was like, you ain't put on no bra? I was like, oh, we got to get out the car? So one of my great things from COVID is no panties, no underwear. Woo! Raise the roof on that. That's one of my COVID greats. Let's see, my other COVID great. I'm saving gas. I haven't been having to drive too many places. I think I sat on a tank of gas for probably 3 weeks because I haven't had to get any. So saving gas and naps. I've been taking some naps in the afternoon. I love taking me some naps. A little bird nap. It ain't got to be nothing too grand, but I do take me a little nap, baby. I love it. Love me a nap. So the nap has been good. COVID also gave me an opportunity to get kind of introspective of myself, to kind of get some understanding of me as a person and, what to do and how to proceed. So I'm glad I've been able to do that and exercise. I've been able to exercise. So those are some good things that have come out of COVID. It's hard because, we just want to chill. That everybody wanted time to chill and wanted time off. And then COVID hit, and then we all had time to chill and all had time off. And we're all like, damn it, I got to go back to work, but it's coming back now, especially in education. So we'll see what that's going to be like. Um, I did get an opportunity to spend some time with my mom last weekend. She and I had a blast. I think that when we get together, we have more fun every time because I don't even know why. We just have had, like, this time was a lot of fun. The time before that was a lot of fun too. So I had a great time with her. Mm. And then I drove to Atlanta to see Faceless Love. And that's where I am now, to hang out with him because he's so much fun. I really like hanging out with him a lot. I think I'm gonna kidnap him, but I mean, I guess I really don't have to now. He's kind of here. He's stuck here. He knows. He's like, shit, he just want to be here too. Be good to each other. Let me see what else I was gonna talk to. I done ranted about COVID. She always gets my attention. I talked about Kemp, and I talked about a mayor named Keisha, hashtag a mayor named Keisha. I love her. Talked about going back to school for COVID. That's scary. But what we gonna do? We'll figure it out next week. Um, so that'll be okay. And then what else did I want to talk about tonight? I can't even think about it. Whatever else I wanted to talk about. Oh, I talked about orgasms a little bit. And those are really important. Everybody should have orgasm. As a matter of fact, everybody needs to just go have one tonight. Just go and get your orgasm tonight by yourself. It doesn't even have to be with another person. It's the release. Just go have an orgasm. Everybody should have one tonight. As a matter of fact, I'm mandating it. So go do that. Do that after we finish this tonight. What else good did I want to talk about? Did I have any more articles? I feel like I have something, but I forgot. Oh, I know what. If you have elders in your family, and I'm 50, I'm almost 51. So if you have elders in your family that are handling their own business and finances and stuff, just kind of find you a place in their life to kind of help them if you can, because there are a lot of places and institutions that are taking care of the elderly, that are taking advantage of the elderly, and we just kind of leave them out to dry. And I say align yourself with them and help them, because one day we'll be the elderly, and we do want somebody to take care of us honestly and openly, and to make sure that we're safe and no one's taking advantage of us. So I've been dealing with that a bit with my one of my relatives that's in a situation, and I'm going to say I've had the pleasure of working with my uncle to try to figure it out. And I didn't realize how easy it was, or it is, for people to take advantage of you when you are when you start losing your faculties, when early onset dementia, whatever. But so if you have elders in your family, including your parents, talk to them. Don't try to just go in and take over, because they're not going to be ready for it, whatever. But at least let them know that you're aware of what's happening and why it's happening, and see if there's anything you can do. So just kind of help them out with that. And that's our responsibility as people. That's our responsibility as children, nieces, nephews, grandchildren. That's our responsibility. So we have to make sure we take care of the elders, and we cannot forget that. So that's been a big deal for me this week. And unfortunately, I'm okay with it. I have my great aunt, Aunt Julia, died about 10 years ago, and I was able to spend a lot of time. Actually, I spent some great time with her. She and I were together for the inauguration of President Obama. And I actually was planning to go to an inauguration party, and I ended up being with her. And that was probably the best place that I could have been, with her understanding that how significant that was to her that we had a Black American president, because that's something that she would have never even imagined in her lifetime. So that was really cool that I was with her. And that's something I'll always remember, and I'll share it with my kids, of course. They know, and or share it with them. And I take my role as a woman in my family very seriously. I understand that someone has to lead the family, to be the patriarch or matriarch, or to make the decisions, or someone has to do that. And I'm not even the oldest, but I pretty much accepted that, because I am the one that is aware and probably the most compassionate, that's the role that I'll take in my family. And that's okay on both sides, my mom and my dad. I feel like that's the role that I will take within it, because for one, I'm aware that it's a role, and two, I understand the aging process and respect it. So, I'm working on that, every day, trying to make sure that I'm capable to move my family forward, so, it's a lot. But for you guys, think of where you are in your family, who you are. Are you the kid, or are you the kid that's going to sit back and let somebody else do it? Whatever it is, assume your role and let it be known that you understand there's a role and you've taken it, because we don't talk about it anymore. And we all have an idea that our parents are going to live forever, and that's not going to happen. Katie said the world has definitely changed. Oh my God, Katie, the world has changed like nobody's business. The fact that we can't leave the United States to go to Europe, to the Bahamas, like that in itself says this is crazy. But schools being closed and trying to figure out how to reopen, and we've never, in my lifetime, none of our lifetimes, last time this happened was in the 1918, I think, that the schools closed. So none of us have seen this, and it has changed. But it is a reminder are here for a purpose. It's a reminder that I miss you too, Katie. It's a reminder that we all have a purpose, and our purpose is greater than anything that this moment has. The universe God has given us our purpose and ordained us to move forward, right? So that's what's on us. So even in the midst of all this, it's still our time to understand who we are and what we're supposed to do. This moment doesn't define us. This moment doesn't hold us hostage. We still get to move forward. And that's a big deal, to be able to think, how do I move forward in this time? How do I hang on to my freedom in this time? How do you start questioning those things? And I know for sure it's people in relationships and marriages that are fucking miserable right now, because they're in a house with people that they don't like. Children are suffering because they don't have the social connection. They're connecting with their friends through games, on the phone, FaceTime, Snapchat, TikTok. You're right. Kids are suffering and trying to make those social connections. And we've got it. I mean, it has to come back. But as the adults, we have to make sure that our children understand that's not the end of them socially. That's not the end of it. There's some other things that are happening as well. And that's hard. And fortunately, my kids aren't really young and they're figuring it out on their own. Like my oldest kids are working and my youngest child is a senior. He misses his friends, and he was a senior this year. He misses his friends, and they've connected on all the social media and play games and took classes together this summer. But when he could see them in person, he was giddy like a child. Like there's something about that social connection that is required of us. It is a basic physiological need to be connected with somebody. So We have to write it out with the kids and to help them understand that we understand that they're struggling, that they're suffering in the absence of other people. But it'll come back. It'll be, everybody will be socially awkward. Everybody will be socially awkward in no time at all. Trying to figure out how close can you get? What can you say? Where do you sit? Can I share my sandwich with you or not? Can you share your chips with me or not? Can I hit you and run or not? Like we will all spend the next years trying to figure out what level of social interaction is acceptable. So that's our children will definitely suffer with that for a while to come. There's not going to be an easy turnaround for this, and I'm talking 4 or 5 years after the virus numbers have gone down. And I understand that President Trump has got with Pfizer to have this $2 billion worth of vaccines or whatever. Guess what? In the past, it takes about 14 years for something to get a patent before something is distributed to people. I don't know how I feel about getting a vaccine. I mean, honestly. And what did I just say earlier? The data is changing, statistics changing every day. So we really don't know what the vaccine is treating. Is the vaccine treating the Wuhan strand of COVID or the strand that came to the US? What exactly is the vaccine treating? So, you have to do your own research in that. Try not, some people are sheep. Some people are going to take what you give them. Some people are not. If you're a sheep and you're a take what they give me kind of person, and that's fine. That's who you are. It's how you were designed. There's not a conversation about that. If you're not and you have questions then that's who you are and how you were defined. There's nothing wrong with that either. But you can't convince the sheep to be the shepherd. And you can't convince the shepherd to be the sheep. So we have to respect everybody where they are as they are. And we have to move forward. And before the virus even started, if you go back, great segue, iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Pandora, iHeartRadio, YouTube, go back and download any of my Joy Exposed. The one thing that we always talk about in Joy Exposed is taking care of yourself. Before the Pandora set in, it was all about yourself. You. It doesn't matter what the fuck anybody else is doing. Your primary goal is to take care of you. So we don't get to, even now in the pandemic, we don't get to not take care of who we are, right? I don't care who is doing what. You do the best thing for you. Wear your mask. You don't want to wear a mask? Keep your ass at home by yourself. Stop fucking with people. Contaminate your own space. Leave people alone. You don't get to not wear a mask. You don't get to not wear a condom if we're talking spread and pass of HIV, AIDS, STDs. You've got to think about the other person who's receiving what you're giving. And right now, it's word of mouth, your words, your germs, this virus, if you're harvesting it. Keep it to your damn self. Put your mask on. So we have to really pay attention to that. Don't get caught up in you can't breathe. I wish, this is what I can't say I wish, that sounds so mean. I think that the people who swear they can't wear a mask for all these reasons, if they were having surgery and the surgeon didn't mask up, if the surgeon didn't mask up before the surgery and protect them from the germs that he or she has, I wonder if they'd be okay with not wearing a mask. Think about that. Everybody masking gowns up to limit the amount of germs passed. Not to mention, germ theory began in like 1075. 1075 is when the first idea of germ theory began, where diseases started with germs. It wasn't widely accepted until the 1800s. That's 800 years of people not believing that germs were the beginning of a disease. And here we are in 2020, and people still not believing that germs are the cause of somebody getting ill. Come on now, we've been doing this since 1075 in the germ theory. Come on, we're more evolved than that. We're a society of great people. We have great information, technology out of the woo-woo. So if you can sit up and talk about how you aren't wearing a mask and you, fuck you. Simple. Only deal with yourself. But when you are wearing a mask and putting people around you at risk, you're an awful person. And you're not even a very good American. You're not a very good citizen of Earth, right? So you're not a very good citizen if you can't think of what it means to take care of people around you. And there have been a lot of instances where people are declining to wear masks, and they found out they had the virus and then they've died. It's been several instances of that. So we really need to be careful of that. I don't even know how I got back on the COVID thing, probably with the germ theory. But our responsibility to getting to our purpose is our goal. Our purpose is our goal. This is a minor setback. Some people will die now. Many people will die now. That's okay. And it may not have to be you. If you know that you have a purpose and you know there's something that you're working towards and you're taking the steps that you need to get to being of purpose, then that's all that you have to worry about. You will continue to glide in his light. But you can't sit still and idle and not understand that your reason for being here is greater than your physical existence, that you're supposed to change the world, or you're supposed to benefit the masses. Those are things that you have to do. You've got to continue to do that. So this is Joycelyn Wells with Joy Exposed. It's Wednesday, July 22nd, 1920. July 22nd, 2020. We have made it to the second half of the year and we're still in a mother trucking pandemic. God forbid. So we're just going to keep trucking, right? And trying to get to a place that we can be better. Wash your hands, wear your mask. Cleanliness matters. Avoid large crowds and just continue to love the people around you. Raise your children, take care of them. They'll have conversations about this in the future. We'll have conversations with them. And we'll be happy to have those conversations. So remember, when joy is exposed, everything just feels better. See you guys next time. Bye. Thank you for joining.